Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I've been getting a lot of messages that wives, or let me say women, send to me about how to separate their roles and how to do it justifiably. So have you also felt like that? Like you've lost touch with yourself somewhere between being a wife, a mother, and a caretaker? It happens quietly before we notice it. One day you wake up and you realize you've been pouring into everyone else's cup, but yours is bone dry. You start reacting, but not responding. You feel distant from your softness, from your beauty, from your essence. Sometimes you just keep quiet and start thinking, who am I again? Because you are no longer that person that you used to know. But here is a truth many women forget. You are not just a caretaker. You are a woman, a feminine being created by Allah with a unique kind of power that brings warmth. You bring peace and comfort to a man's world. Okay, you are a nurturer. When you blur the line between those two roles, that is that of being a caretaker and that of being a feminine woman, that is where the trouble begins. Your femininity is yours, not your children's, not other people's. Maybe your husband's in a bit kind of way, but not your husband's completely. You don't take a relaxing bath or you wear perfume just because your husband deserves it. In kika ce sai don komai a rayuwanki sai don mijinki ne ya deserving zaki, which means you are not living for yourself. You don't have your identity. But you do it because you deserve to feel alive. You deserve to feel soft and radiant. You are not maintaining yourself for him. You are honoring yourself for the sake of Allah who made you beautiful. You are taking care of that amana that Allah placed in your hands. If you can do something anywhere, maybe in your office, at the market, or at a friend's house, then it is not what makes you feminine. Your femininity blooms inside your home, in your softness, in your serenity, and the way you bring peace into a space. Have you heard of Sihrul Halal? The magic, the halal magic? Not, I don't want to call it magic because magic is haram in its entirety, but that is what the Arab calls the word Sihrul Halal. Okay, let me tell you about it. Maybe you can understand better. The way Allah has placed women in the hearts of men is unlike anything else in creation. A man can climb mountains, lead armies, or build empires. Yet one gentle word, one look from a woman, one touch from his woman can calm him in ways nothing else can. That is Sihrul Halal, the sacred enchantment of a wife's presence. So why do we forget that power? Why do we dim the light? Your honor lies within you. Your words, your gestures, your warmth, they carry weight in his world. But it depends on how deeply you know yourself as a woman. Islam has placed the balance clearly. Allah has told us in the Quran that we are the source of sukoon for them. He said, and among his signs is that he created for you from yourselves mates that you may find tranquility in them. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. Ilayha, to her. Tranquility comes from the woman. The Sharia made it clear both husband and wife share in the sakina and the enjoyment. But the burden of the provision rests on the man's shoulder. So don't blur the roles and the responsibilities. Let him take his own roles and stay in your lane. Have you ever had a husband say, Hajia, let's go to the workshop or the motor park? Of course not. He does the hard things, the hard lifting. Your role is to receive him with warmth and say, welcome home, Habibi. And let your peace refill his tired soul. I'm not saying that you can't go out and look for provision, but that provision shouldn't be your household provision. It should be for yourself. You are the helper there, not the leader. The leader should hold his household and you be there as a buffer, as a supporter, as a nurturer, and as a helper. You do what you want to do within the Sharia boundaries, but know your limits. Let him take his responsibilities. Even your acts of service, like cleaning the home, they are not acts of slavery. When done with the right intention, they are acts of worship. You help him just as you would help your mother at home, out of love and goodness. Ku daina bari ana gaya muku wasu maganganu daban. Do it because you seek that reward from Allah. Do it because idan ma biki a nan ba in gidanku kike za ki taimaki mamanki ko babanki. Likewise, a nan gidan mijinki an ce ki taimake shi shi ma. But what makes you his woman, is what happens when you command his attention with your softness, with your presence, with your intimacy. That is your quiet power. Own it. Any man who seeks intimacy from you must also carry the responsibility of your provision. And the quality of that provision often mirrors how he perceives you, how you carry yourself, how you value your own femininity. Every woman is born with a unique ni'mah, a blessing that runs deep in your marrow, in your very marrow. It attracts, it nurtures, and it soothes. That is why Islam commands modesty, so that we can guard that sacred energy, to keep it private for the one who values it most. Remember, Allah made you to share in a man's tranquility, not his hardship. Nutsuwansa aka ce ki samu, haka shi ma nutsuwanki aka ce ya samu, amma kuma aka ce yana sama da ke saboda ya samu, shi ne yake da authority a kanki saboda yana kawo miki provision. Which means if bai kawo miki provision, then there are some things that ya yi signing up to let go of kenan. So if you understand that, you are empowered. If you forget, you risk losing your light. When a woman neglects that divine trust, that amana given to her, she begins to lose her warmth. That you get kin zama wata boss lady, you become hardened, and her husband loses his sakina with her. Zai ringa dar in ya dawo gida, what me zan samu kuma, wani sabon kes zan samu kuma. Like yana tunani in zai dawo gidan shi, instead of him to come and find peace, to find that sakina in his home, then one day he will become distant. He leaves not because he wants to, but because the home no longer gives him peace. Saboda haka in kin ga ana zaman lafiyan nan, kar ki ce za ki kirkiro masifa da bala'i. I've seen so many posts on Instagram. Suna malama ni mijina ya fi son zaman lafiya, ni na fi son ana dan rikici, ana dan waye aike ki neman bala'i da hannunki. If he starts becoming distant, that is not him being cold. It is a warning sign that something is wrong. Something has happened along the way. It's either kin yi losing attention din shi, someone has grabbed it, or kuma babu watan a waje, but kin yi letting go of damanki. Because when a man finds sakina in his woman, even when he goes out to work, even when he carries her peace with him. He parts from her not out of desire but duty. And that, my dear sister, is the upper hand Allah has given you. He entrusted you with a gift, a power so gentle yet so commanding that it can shape the peace of your home and the heart of your husband. So we need to cherish that power. We need to protect it. We need to live it daily with the intention of pleasing Allah. I hope this simple message will serve as a wake-up call for some of us. I know a lot of us are trying and we are praying for peaceful homes, and we hope that the men take heed as well. But this message is for you, my feminine sister. Let's take heed. Mu gyara abin gyarawa. Barakallahu fi kunna.